Welcome to One Sharp Sword, cutting through to what matters most. I'm your host, Dr. Wayne Pernell, and today we have Sean Hicks with us. He's got an interesting story. I only bring people with interesting stories. Sean is kind of an amazing human, and I really wanted to share his story. I wanted him to share his story with us. He is currently doing and has done extended warranty things for decades. And you might ask yourself, how is a guy who sells extended warranties, how is that going to be interesting? You've got to hear his story. These are lessons of leadership that anybody can use. And I heard about him, I reached out to him, and I really wanted to welcome him. Sean Hicks, welcome to One Sharp Sword. So glad you're
Thank you,
here.
Dr. Wayne. Very happy to be here with you today. Look forward to our conversation. It should be fun.
It should be fun. It should be, but will it be? Yes, it will
Yes,
be. So here's the thing. You've been doing extended warranty stuff for years. You are the CEO of a big and now growing firm. But years ago, decades ago, you started off at Sears. Is that right?
that's correct. I started out at Sears. Started selling paint many years ago, and then I got into the service department when I was in my early 20s, and so that's where you were responsible for the service contracts that were sold at retail and ran technicians and sold parts and renewed service contracts. And so it was a great learning experience for a young guy.
So here's the thing about that that I really want to dive into during our talk today. There are two things. One is sales, because we all sell something all the time. We're selling ourselves in some way. The other is why extended warranties? Why is that such a big deal, right? That it's like, oh, here's another extended warranty. I'm calling about your car insurance. I'm calling about, it's like, that's just annoying. But what you do isn't annoying. In fact, it's really, really helpful. So what made you see through all of that? And did that start when you were at Sears, at Montgomery Ward? Like, I know a little of your history, but maybe you could walk us through that.
Sure. So, I started at Sears, we talked about, and went to Montgomery Ward, and I ended up running service for Montgomery Ward nationally out of Chicago for a number of years. And we were responsible for all the service contracts sold within the business. And so our technicians went out and did the repair work. In 1997, I got onto this side of the fence where I became a vice president for a service contract administrator called Warrantech. Now, I've never been in the car business. All of my experience has been in the appliance and electronics space. So we're not that annoying people that are calling you. So, but I will tell you the domestic service contract space is a $48 billion business, and it has a CAGR of 8.6%. So by 2030, this will be an $83 billion business. So it's huge business in the United States. And I wish I could tell you that I had this vision, I saw it, and it was going to be great. But I was going to be an electrical engineer, and then I just found myself in this space, and I love taking care of problems, people's problems, right? They've got broken products, and it just gave me such a charge to be able to take care of, issues that people were having in their homes. And I've been here for 30 years now, and still enjoy coming to work every day.
That's amazing. So, wow. The idea of taking care of people's problems, it's that's what helps you get up every day, I guess, is like, I'm gonna help people.
Yeah,
And
it is.
that's great. So where did that come from, and what is it specifically that you're doing now? Because you're not like you've worked your way up to CFO and president, right?
Yeah, so we started New Leaf. So we started New Leaf in 2011. I had a business partner. His name was Rick Cavino. Rick and I started New Leaf because we felt there was a missing component in the market. The SMB space was really, abandoned by the large sellers of service contracts in the space.
So
So
SMB is what, just for our listeners?
small, medium businesses.
Very good.
So if you think about your independent retail store down the street that sells appliances, right? It's a guy who might own three stores, might own one store, but it's not the national chains. It's that space that most people don't really think about until you really need service. And then you go to the independent chain because they're the ones that can provide you with, real live salespeople, real live delivery people, real life people that do installations. And that's where we saw a miss in the space. And so we started New Leaf to serve that market particularly. We provide everything from product design, regulatory compliance, underwriting, training, and then after it's been sold and you have a broken product and you're calling somebody or you're emailing somebody, you're emailing us. And then we're the ones dispatching out people to come out and do the repair work. We use your local repair people to come out and fix your refrigerator or fix your dryer or fix your TV. And then we are paying claims out of the insurance company's funds that we use to underwrite the service plans. And New Leaf's been in business now. We'll celebrate our 15th year September 1st. So we're coming up on that pretty quickly.
15 years in biz is pretty good. The first three get kind of rough, don't they?
They can be, yeah. I'll never forget our first probably 3 months. We operated off of my Verizon box, and we had three people connecting via email via that little box, and making phone calls out to all of the people I knew in retail, trying to get them to do business with a brand new startup, and it was a stressful but really exciting time as well.
When you are breaking into new space, it's almost always stressful, right? It's like the big boxes are doing this warranty stuff, and really small stores probably don't have the amount of business to actually warrant going into. But you're like, well, there's small, like bigger, small, and medium size, and you saw an empty space, and you were like, should we? You know,
Yeah, and so Wayne, I'm going to use a baseball analogy. I'm obviously a big sports fan, and we
you
look at
got a few things behind you on the wall
yeah,
there. Great.
yeah, just a few. We liken it to hitting singles, right? So think about it: four singles, and I've hit a run. And so, we go out there, and if it's a one store chain that might do $100,000 a year with you, that's okay, right? We know that their business is going to be there every year. And with the death of some of the large big boxes like Sears, like Ward's, the independents are picking up that share. They're picking up a ton of that share, and so we're seeing the independents grow on an annual basis. And so we wanted them to compete more effectively with the big boxes. We wanted to help them design a service offering that allows them to do that. And so we brought to market things like 50% back guarantee. So if you don't use your plan, we'll give you 50% of what you paid for it back in credit at your retail store. And so in 5 years down the road, you might have $100 sitting there that you can go back and use towards your next appliance that you have. We brought service guarantees to market. So if we don't service your product within 7 days, we'll pay you some dollar amount for that inconvenience. And so we made sure the independents could compete more effectively with the big boxes because they don't have pricing advantages anymore, but they have service advantages. And the consumer is demanding service, and that's where you can get it is from your independent.
And if you're local and you want to do business with your local independent store, this gives the local independent store a chance actually at offering the kind of service.
Correct.
I love that. I want to call out, I'm looking down at my notes. I wanted to call out I believe it's a leadership lesson, and it's definitely a business lesson. Four singles is a run. And when I coach, when I do my teaching, I always talk about the big goals, and the big goals are the scary goals, and you've got to go for them. And it's great to have those great big goals because they motivate you. They pull you forward, even if you're scared. How do you reach those goals? a little bit at a time, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
for singles, it's like, can you make it to first base and then second? Can you make it around all the way around? I'm not much of a sports guy. More Disney if you look at my background. The but the idea really is, can you make a difference in your world and the lives of your customers, your clients, even the vendors, right? You do it incrementally. And what's interesting, like I do a thing called exponential success. How do you get to exponential success? You make an exponential leap by doing the groundwork from which to take that leap, right? So
That's right.
I love that as a lesson that you're bringing. I think that taking care of people is crucial. I think that making your business plan work for you, where it's like we don't have to get everything all at once. Like we're not going to climb this great big mountain all at once. You run the bases a base at a time. You climb a mountain 7 inches at a time,
One step at a
which,
time. Yep.
right, and that's how you get there. So I love that. What's been kind of the biggest, most fun thing you've tackled over the years?
Well, one of the things that we really did that I think sets us apart is that we created an ESOP for our employees. My business partner was ready to retire, and we found the ESOP, or really Rick found the ESOP is a great way of helping him take that step toward retirement and then bringing our employees in as my business partners. And so today we have a 30% ESOP. So, my partners are my employees. They own 30% of our business. Every decision they make, impacts their pocketbook, their ownership stake. And really, in order to get ownership in our company, you just have to come to work and we're going to give it to you. And so, from that perspective, we find that that's a great retention tool. People that are with us for a while, they became significant owners. And right now, our average balance in our ESOP accounts is $35,000. So think about that. A 23, 24, 25-year-old kid that's going through college, works as a call taker for us, already has saved somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to $50,000 toward their retirement. And we're big about helping them plan for the future.
And that compounds. Let me just back up for a second. ESOP stands for Employee Stock Ownership
Plan.
Plan.
That's correct. Yep.
And just for our audience to kind of wrap your head around, that's something that if you're working for a company and they go, now you own part of the company, that's pretty significant. And then for your younger employees to have 35,000 or more just given to them for the sake of you're part of our company, if that's invested, uh, financially, historically, those numbers double every 7 to 8 years. So in 7 years, that 35 turns to 70,
70.
7 more years, that 70 turns to 140. And that's with doing nothing but getting the initial amount. You don't stop with that. Like they can contribute further, and so the compounding is really significant, so that when someone is there for any length of time, and this is like a lesson, whether or not you as a listening audience member, right? And as an audience member, um, whether or not your company gives you an ESOP, for you to think about how does your money compound, but to also look for companies that invest back in you. Like that's huge. And Sean, what you've created and kind of the mindset of we we want our team members to really care about the work they do and to care about the company. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, one of my very first jobs, I'll never forget it. Western Auto got acquired by Sears back in the day, and I went to become an assistant manager at Western Auto. And one of their tenets was, we're going to take care of our employees first. And that so resonated with me. And I've carried that throughout my career. And so when Rick brought the ESOP forward and being able to use that as a method to not only help Rick retire, but take care of our employees in the process was a phenomenal plan for us. There is absolutely no reason why we can't have millionaires that retire from New Leaf, and that's really fulfilling, really exciting for me personally.
As it should be. New Leaf is doing some amazing things that's, it's kind of paving the way, and it's not a huge company. How many employees do you have?
So we have about 80 employees that are direct with us, and then we have about a similar number of employees that we have down in El Salvador through an outsourced partner that we use. So when I think about it in terms, I'm always thinking about it in terms of the whole group, not just the people that we pay directly, but the people we have through our outsourced partner as well. So we operate around 160 people on a daily basis.
That's not a huge company. It's
No,
fantastic, right? So, for you, knowing the 80 that are local, my guess is you know each of them, right?
I
You know
do.
something about each of them. Yeah.
I do. Yeah. And I will tell you, I'm so fortunate that we actually have one employee who has been with us from the very beginning. She was one of the original call takers, and she is will celebrate her 15th anniversary next February. And so has been through with us from a call taker to becoming a lead to becoming a supervisor. And when I tell you she's one of those ladies that I think could retire as a millionaire, she's been with us for a long time and is gaining ownership pretty quickly through the ESOP. So excited to see those types of people hanging in there with us so long.
I love that. I think it's beautiful. The idea of employees first in an organization, so if you own an organization, a lot of times the thinking is revenue first, right? How do I make the big sales first? And employees, they're expendable. And there's some truth to if you don't have the right person, find the right person. And there's also a great amount of truth to, wow, once you find them, invest in them. I think, wasn't it Richard Branson who said, train your employees so well that they could leave and treat them so well that they won't want to, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's from our perspective, we have the belief that if we take care of our employees, they're going to take care of our clients and our clients' customers, right? Our sole purpose in life as a service contract company is to add value to the brand of the people that are selling the New Leaf products, right? You think about it in terms of marketing, we're the Intel inside, right? We're the unknown company that powers the service contracts that are sold at almost 800 retailers across the U.S. Uh, and think about that in terms of there's 30,000 independent retailers and we have 800. I mean, a small number, right? And, we are there to support their brand, to support their customers, to bring customers back, right? So we're a high margin product for them that they want to sell, they need to sell. But more importantly, we've got to help them build repeat customers.
That's so good. I'm making note. You caught me looking down. I'm making notes. This is awesome. Adding value to clients, supporting the brand. That is what an employee first culture is. Talk to me a little bit about, you and I hadn't done this on a pre-call. It- do you consider yours a learning organization? Like, do you invest in your team members in learning new things and in growing with the changing world? And how do you do that?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question, Dr. Wayne. Yeah, we do believe in training our people. So, we have a training staff, we have a quality and assurance staff that, listens in on phone calls to help people, get better at their daily job. But through our payroll partner, we have access to over 30,000 classes on everything from how to use Excel to how to be a better leader, how to, use AI in your business. And we actually pay our employees to learn. We'll pay them up to $1,000 each year by taking classes through our payroll provider. And it's based on the length of the training class. They earn anywhere from 25 to $50 per training class. And we want them to learn. We want them to better themselves. I tell everybody that comes to work at New Leaf is that I don't expect that you'll be here for 40 years. But I want you to look back and say, at my time at New Leaf, I learned something that helped me grow in my career. And I believe that growth needs to be more than just, I got better at being a call taker, I got better at being a call center leader. I want to teach them things like how to use Excel, how to use Word, how to become a better leader so that their career has that exponential growth that you were talking about earlier, right? And so that's something that we put in place several years ago, where we're going to pay you to learn. And it's funny, you got some people that take full advantage of it, and then you've got other people that don't use it. But those that do are going to have phenomenal long-term careers.
So good. What are the biggest challenges you've faced, and what are you facing now? Like, the world has evolved. We're in the space of AI more and more, and even synthetic intelligence, right? So AI and SI.
You know you are bigger than the life you are leading. It really is time to attend to that thing you've wanted to do or have, but you've been putting off. It's time to step into that dream you've parked for someday. It's time to claim true well-being, both personally and professionally, without giving up the success that got you here. It's time to check out Dr. Pernell's signature small group retreat, the Exponential Success Summit. Explore exponentialsuccesssummit.com. Seats are extremely limited as this is a very special small group event. www.exponentialsuccesssummit.com.
I don't know if you've got challenges around that or if you've got other challenges coming up for yourself. Where have you had the most challenge? What have been the leadership lessons from those challenges? And what are you facing now as you move forward?
Yeah, so I'd say we have a couple of challenges, and let's start with AI because that is something that I think a lot of people are talking about right now. And AI is being able to replace customer service agents and things like that. We don't believe that. New Leaf has a different view on that. We believe AI should be used in the background, automating processes, making things easier for the people that interact with the people, right? So when a customer reaches out to us, they really don't want to talk to an IVR. They don't want to talk to a AI agent. They want to speak to somebody that can laugh and joke with them, talk about the sporting event from yesterday, talk about what the president had to say, and then help them with their issue. Now, AI has a place, and that place is really going to make some huge, changes in the long term. But I don't believe, and New Leaf doesn't approach it, that it should be replacing people that talk to people. And so, we are not taking that position. We're not saying that, customer service agents are going to go away and that our customers are going to be speaking to an AI agent because we've tried a lot of those things over the years. I don't know if you remember several years back, Facebook launched their agents, and we tried that, and it just, if it didn't follow steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and it went 1, 4, 6, it fell apart. And so we are going to use AI in the background, but we're not going to replace agents, right? So that is a big challenge that we've talked about quite regularly in our business because I don't think that AI is in a position today to replace people that talk to people.
I love
Now,
that. I love that. I just wanted to underscore that AI is great and it's getting better all the time ish. and and nothing can replace the people to people connection.
I agree.
Yeah.
Where I find AI to be really effective is kind of the analytical searching of the web, right? If I ask a question about, what is the revenue of this client or this person, or, it does a great job of searching the web and giving you all that data in summary. It does a phenomenal job of that. And it does a great job of, if this happens, do A, do B, do C, right? So when it comes to processing things like sales that come in from our clients and taking those in and putting them into our system, it does a phenomenal job on those types of things. But we don't believe in, again, as I keep saying it, people that talk to people. And, we're going to make sure we have them. I will tell you, our biggest challenge today is finding those people that talk to people. And the call center business is looked at as an entry level job in the United States. It's not looked at as a potential career for people, and I think that's something that I need to try to help change, because there's the opportunity for growth in that space. You can become a leader, you can become a supervisor. There's a lot of growth opportunity, and we need more young people coming into to this space. And in the same token, the people that do the repair work, the people that come out to fix your appliances are
Mhm.
going away fast. And as a society, I believe that we have done our kids a disservice by saying, if you don't go to college, you're not going to make something of yourself. People that do appliance repair, that do plumbing, that do electrical work, they can be six-figure people in our society very, very quickly. And we need to do more in the trade space. And I would say those are the two biggest challenges that I have, is finding people that want to make call center work a career, and finding people that want to do repair work on the appliances and electronics that we cover underneath our service contracts.
It's a big deal. Yeah,
It is
big deal. I was
huge deal.
talking with automotive repair as well. I mean, that's such a huge field, and because of the way cars are changing, the same with appliances. The the electronics that run the appliances, they're changing. A lot of the guts, maybe not, but the pump for a dishwasher, it's evolved a little, but the electronics that run that pump, that's changed. And yeah, we do need people that understand and want to understand and want to do in-person interface.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, GE sells or used to sell a washing machine that could automatically order your detergent for you through Amazon, right? And and so thinking about the person that not only can fix that pump that you're talking about, the mechanical piece,
Hmm.
but understands the Wi-Fi connection and things like that that has to happen in order for that to work, right? I mean, there is a great place for somebody that's good with their hands, that wants to be involved in technology in the servicing of appliances in the United States.
So let's go personal a little bit for you. What's next for you? I mean, you own this company, you've seen it grow. Are you looking to, I know part of it is a retirement plan, years down the road. My question, I think, really is, um, what do you want to do between now and, like, where are you taking New Leaf as a company?
Yeah.
And what's, like, when you, as the president, are thinking about succession planning, are you looking at who's next, who's in line, who you can groom to be this next person? Um, and what kind of thoughts go into that? Like, as a leader, how do you know, like, good enough? And are you willing to grow them? And like, those are the kinds of things I find fascinating.
Yeah, so we have a very young, I say very young, he's just turning 40, CFO. I have a young president, and she's actually been with me for a number of years at various companies, and she's the future, and our CFO are the future. Those are the two people that I'm going to say in 5 to 7 years that I will sell my interest in the company to the ESOP. And my goal is for those two to take New Leaf forward. And so, I spend a lot of my time in sales and trying to bring in more business today. And I'm starting to get our president involved in that, right? Because eventually she's going to need to be the face of the company out in the industry, going to trade shows, being involved in the magazine interviews, that type of stuff. And so I bring her into that world. And so we've been spending the last couple of years really starting to position her to become the face, right? And our CFO continues to grow. He's been with us almost 10 years, or has been with us for 10 years now. Started out as our accounting manager, and Rick, my business partner, groomed him, and we promoted him to the CFO. So over 10 years, we've trained him on the financials, the legal aspects, of the service contract space. And so he has done a phenomenal job of learning this business. And so with the two of them, we're going to have a rock solid team going forward. My goal now is to really look at the next level. Who are the people that are going to replace the people that are going to replace me, right? So going down two levels and starting to find those people. And we've got one, two people that might fill the roles, but we've got to do a better job of hiring and training that next level. And that's probably where, from a leadership people standpoint, that I'm going to focus my time over the next couple of years, is trying to find that next level and spend more time personally with those people. Because I do think it's important to help our president and our CFO find, the people that are going to replace them.
What's your title?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What is your title?
I'm the chairman and CEO.
You are okay. Thank you. Yeah, because I think I had written down president for you. So awesome. So chairman and CEO. Here's what I love, Sean, is this. You're looking at bench a couple of layers down, right? You're looking at, how do I develop, who do I select, and how do I develop them? And you're doing it years out. And in my experience doing consulting, most people in your position wait until it's almost too late.
Yeah.
Like they wait right up until the last year. Oh, I guess I should pick somebody. Or worse, if they've started the company, they're waiting until somebody pushes them out before they go, oh, I guess I should have, maybe selected somebody. You are years out, and you are looking at not only who you have in line to move into your place, you are looking at who is possible to step into, right? And I love the way you say it. Who are the people that could replace the people who are going to replace me? And I love that I think as a business owner, if you're not thinking that way every day, really, you're not thinking in terms of what are your true strengths, right? You've got a people first organization. Who are your people?
Right.
What do they need, right? What do they need to support you?
And Dr. Wayne, I'm an accidental entrepreneur, right? So I spent all of my time, in corporates, right? I mean, I worked for Sears, Wards, large corporations. And my business partner, I'll never forget, he called me one day and he said, "Hey, if you can bring clients, I can raise the money to start a company." And at the time I was raising a 10-year-old daughter, and I needed the paycheck. And so jumping out and becoming an entrepreneur was a very, very, very scary thing for me, right? I wasn't one of those guys at 18 that started a business and, it grew it all the way around. And so, getting involved and struggling for cash in the early days. And, those are all things that, I learned under fire. And, Rick taught me some very valuable lessons over time, right? I always laugh. He's the guy that can get blood out of a stone, right? And, it helped us from a financial perspective get to where we are today, 15 years later.
Hmm. I I love the title. Like if you were to write a book, that would be a great title. Sean Hicks, the accidental entrepreneur. Whoops, I started a business. I love that. Oops, I accidentally stepped in. And yes, entrepreneurship is scary, and it's not for everybody. And yet for those that it is for, it's kind of like, well, I learned a lot, right? And you hear these stories, or the lessons of, you've got to fail fast. And I was pushed against that, because it's like, don't start with a failure mentality. It's more start with a win mentality, understanding that winning means that you're going to come up against challenges, right? And there's a difference. Like yes, it's going to be a struggle. You run a business, there are all kinds of moving pieces and parts all along the way. And you have to really love what you do. And you do, right? You love what you do.
Yeah, I had a mentor. His name was Jack West. I became a service manager at 24 years old, and I had employees that had worked for Sears longer than I had been alive. And you talk about challenges of getting, people in their early 60s to follow you, right? To take your lead and say, yes, we're going to do this and we're going to down that path, and I didn't know anything in comparison to some of them. But I was able to pull out of them their ideas and take three ideas and make seven, right? I mean, that was kind of the goal. And Jack West allowed me to make mistakes. He allowed me to make decisions that I had to back up from and say, "Oh, that one didn't work. Let's go down this path instead." And I think that's key for any leader is you can't penalize mistakes. You've got to use those as true learning opportunities, right? I mean, there are obviously some death nails, if you will, that are going to get people fired or something along those lines, right? But I mean, most mistakes don't impact the business to the degree that you can't use them as learning opportunities. And I try to approach them that way, right? I try to make sure that I use them as the opportunity to say, next time you're faced with this situation, do it this way versus the way that you did it this time.
That's
Uh,
so great.
and you find that people really learn from that if you do it that way.
It's, there's there are cultures um that are the gotcha culture. And a lot of my work is around building a culture of caring. And I think that's what you've been talking about is if you can build a culture that instead of says, why did you do it that way? Which is blameful, you build a culture that says, would you like to know how to do it differently? Maybe next time you might want to try this. And you're supportive. It makes all the difference in people's ability to take risks because it's only in taking those risks that you get creative jumps and creative leaps in how to approach the next level task, right?
Yeah, it's the only way they're going to grow is is to make a mistake, to to learn the process of decision making, right? I mean, there's a my favorite coach, as you can probably tell, is Nick Saban, and he has the process on focusing on the task at hand, not the overall score of the game, right? It's not about winning and losing. It's about what am I doing today? What am I going to do now? What is the process to use here? And if you focus on that, you're going to ultimately win. And that's where I try to bring those lessons to our company. Where what is it that we do to pay a claim? What are the 10 steps in that process? What can we do to improve that process? And when you're paying a claim, if you make a mistake, what did you do? What can we change in the process so that that mistake doesn't happen again? And so by following that theory, we try to make Newly 1% better every day.
That 1% compounds,
There you go. Yep.
right? That's
Yep.
amazing. What's the process and what can we do now? I think those are huge questions for any individual and for any business. What's your process?
Right.
And that could be as an individual, that could be from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. What's your process during the day? How do you approach your day? And are you walking through it or are you welcoming it? And are you willing to risk a little bit to do something slightly different? Um, or are you locked into what always has been? And that's a very fine line of creativity against proven process, right? And as a leader, you want to see someone go, well, I thought I'd try this. It's like, that's awesome. You tried it. It didn't work the way you thought, but it actually gave us some new insights. So, good for you.
And
Next
and
time, try that.
something that I have found, Dr. Wayne, is just because I tried something 10 years ago doesn't mean it wouldn't work today.
Correct.
Right.
That's
And so,
correct.
never discount an idea because, as you said earlier on in our conversation here, you know, business evolves, society evolves, people evolve, and
Mhm.
what didn't work yesterday might work today. And you always need to kind of bring those ideas forward.
Oh, I love that. And that may be where we bring our session to a close. What was there something that you were hoping we'd talk about that we didn't get to?
It was the ESOP, I think, was probably one of my most important things I wanted to talk about. We got to that. And, I would highly encourage small business owners to think about that as an exit strategy for them. It's a great way to motivate the people and bring them into the ownership.
I've
Listen,
seen it work. I've seen it work in multiple organizations.
yeah,
It's been, yeah, it's and as a business owner, if your business looks into it, you might find that there are tax advantages. I am
there
not a
are.
tax advisor, so, find the right person. That said, it's worth looking into.
Yeah, and if you ever have anybody that reaches out to you that wants to talk about an ESOP, I would be more than happy to have conversations with them. So I'd invite you to send them my way.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of that, Sean Hicks, how can people reach you?
Perfect. So my email address is Sean, SEAN, at newleafsc, Sam Charlie, .net. Or you can reach me on my cell phone at 817-913-7015. And any retailer that reaches out, we would give you a free assessment of your current program and your current management of your program, whether you use New Leaf or not. We want to help you grow your business on the long term, and we'd take a look at it and give you a written assessment of our thoughts of your successfulness in the sale of service contracts in your retail business.
That's also, well, I was going to say that's awesome. Also, you're on LinkedIn as well, so people can find you there.
That's
I think
correct.
it's amazing. Not too many people freely give out their cell phones, so thank you for that. Sean, SEAN at newleaf.sc, like South Carolina.
No, it's New Leaf SC, South Carolina .net.
Oh, sorry. I'm so glad that we okay, New Leaf SC, newleafsc.net.
Correct.
Sean at newleafsc.net, 817-913-7015.
That's
And
correct.
on LinkedIn, Sean Hicks. Amazing. Always just lovely to talk to you. I really appreciated being able to talk to you prior to our call and being able to do this with you today. Just amazing. And anything else you want to say, or you think we've pretty much covered what you wanted?
No, I think uh, spend some time on one sharp sword. I think everybody will learn something. I know I have. So
Thank you. That's great. All right. Well, Sean Hicks has been my guest. It has been amazing. This is One Sharp Sword, cutting through to what matters most. And I'm Dr. Wayne Pernell, your host, guide, and coach on this journey. We'll see you again here next time. Thanks for joining us.